Slick.
Hey, Bobby, fuck promotions.
Yeah, y'all. It's a new day, y'all. Yeah. We got some business to take care of. Lots of business. But people are dying every day, shedding tears every way. Oh my God, I feel their pain. Oh my God, who's to blame? We need another day to see the light, a new way. Stop this fight. Peace in the hood is on its way. And peace in the hood is here to stay. Cause it's a new day. It's a new day. Peace in the hood is on its way. It's a new day. It's a new day. Peace in the hood.
All right. We're making it back one more again here on this Wednesday night with It's a New Day podcast. And I'm getting ready to give it over to my host now, Mr. OG Man. Take it away.
Well, I want to welcome everybody here. 6 days before the election. So this is our contribution to the get out the vote. We dedicate this to the get out the vote. And so we want to encourage everybody to vote one way or the other, but get the vote out there. And one of the things we wanted to address was propositions. I know it's a national election. People vote on the president, get excited, and then after win or lose, they lose interest. They lose interest in the politics and wonder why everything is going downhill. So we want to talk about the down ballots, which are the senators, the judges, and the other people that when we talked about earlier, do your vote count? Okay, there are some things that mayors and things of that nature. So like they say in the airways, I want to play this here, and then we're going to get to you on the other side.
I needed extra income. Right, sure, a lot of people do that. That's why I'm supporting Prop 22. Prop 22 protects my ability to be an independent contractor and provides critical benefits to all drivers. Vote yes on 22.
As an emergency physician, I strongly oppose Proposition 23. 23 would shut down hundreds of dialysis clinics throughout California and send thousands of dialysis patients to seek treatment in emergency rooms. 23 would mean more ER overcrowding, more risk to patients, and an extra burden on essential workers. 23 is bad for dialysis patients and bad for all Californians. Please join doctors, nurses, and patients. Vote no on 23.
After COVID, my hours got cut, so we can't pay our bills. And now our family budget is going to be hit hard with Prop 15. The Yes on 15 ad save only raises taxes on big corporations. That's not true. We're all going to pay. $11 billion in new property taxes will get passed on to small businesses and farms. They'll raise prices, higher gas, healthcare, food, even daycare. We can't make ends meet now. Families can't afford 15. No on Prop 15.
It's a story of corruption and scandal. Michelle Steele. One of top campaign officials were investigated for corruption. Steele voted to defund the anti-corruption office investigating him. And powerful donors tied to the Chinese government were looking for access to U.S. leaders. Steele's husband and business partner helped them funnel hundreds of thousands of campaign cash. Michelle Steele, Orange County's most corrupt politician. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving supports Proposition 22 because it maintains access to reliable rideshare services for Californians when they need them most. The research is clear. Prop 22 saves lives. Please vote yes.
Have that.
Right there.
I needed extra income. Rideshare allows me to do that. That's why I'm supporting Prop 22. Prop 22 protects my ability to be independent.
All right. So, before I go too far with that, Clifford, we talked about propositions out there where you at. You said they call them something else.
Yeah, we don't really have a whole lot of props or anything similar to what y'all got. Y'all got a lot on the vote on too. We have I don't know, it's like a package and have all of it in it. And they'll have it on ballot. And they may mention it and they may not. But I think they call it like a stimulus package. They've been calling it a stimulus package for a long time. That's the title of it, but there'll be different stuff in it every 4 years or every 2 years, however the voting process goes. It's not necessarily called.
Yeah, I know some things are different, but one of the things I do want to bring up on the propositions. I wanted to bring up the propositions because these things, again, they occur during the year. Just because the president get in, there's going to be propositions going on during the year, okay? And also the down ballots, senators, congress people, those kind of things. So people, they try to get it, to get all excited about me involved. Obama ran, got excited, and then just fell off. And a lot of people that was involved with Bernie Sanders, when it comes to this part of the game, they fell off. But I wanted to talk about the thing. I don't know if anybody knows too much about it, Proposition 23. Because every time I turn around, they tell me to get rid of the dialysis. I don't understand that. Can anybody tell me anything about that? Go to work.
Go to work. Yeah, I heard a very sad story that there was this man that was standing outside of a health building where he was trying to get benefits and so he can get another kidney. And they told him that he didn't qualify, but he had all his doctor's papers and everything. And he was just outside, just like dumbfounded. Like, how could this literally be happening? Where he has documentation, evidence, and everything, and he needs a critical body part. And that's what happened. Like, it's so serious. Like last year.
Yeah, I see it every year on the ballot. They try to get rid of the dialysis. The people know, Reverend Shaw, you always got something.
Well, let me say this. When it comes to dialysis, what you're looking at in this country is a lot of money is being charged to the insurance companies. And they're being subsidized by a lot of taxes and things like that. So what they're doing is basically as part of this whole overall plan to get rid of the sick. And then you don't have to, you run them as long as you can, and then you let them die. And I mean, this is my personal opinion. This isn't CCHR. This isn't NAACP. This is my personal opinion. That if you look right now, from the vaccines to the COVID, everything is knocking out the weak. And so, I think to even have the discussion is ludicrous. Either you saving people's lives or you not. And when they keep putting these things here that they know will cost thousands of people their lives, there's about 80,000 people who need dialysis. So for them to knock those people out, if you kill half of them because they can't get treatment, look at the monies that's saved. You're talking about thousands of dollars a person. I mean, I think my ex-wife's husband has to pay $1,000 for dialysis. So if you got, $1,000 a month for dialysis. So if you got 40,000 people, let's just take half of those that need it, and they all paying $1,000 a month, are getting paid, that's being put in by the government. What happens when you kill that? You're talking about millions of dollars a month that'll be saved. So I think people are being sacrificed, and they can't even fight back. They're not even putting out commercials that I've seen saying, no, we want doctors there because these people need the doctor because they know they're lying because most of these places don't have them. And the people that's there know how to hook the machines up, and there's a doctor who might be available if they need have a problem. So I'm one of those people to say, I want the dialysis clinics open. I don't care if a doctor's there or not. People need treatment, and to make a person die because they can't get treatment, that's crazy.
Brian Crockett, you be out there.
Yeah, I mean, some of our propositions, we're looking at more of some straight ballots. We got the local DA, Jackie Lacey, BLM is against, and then you got George Cohn, who's coming out of San Francisco, that the police union is against. So and that's directly affect prosecution of the homeless and prosecution of cop killers or people cops killing black men. So that's the issue. That's a hot button issue here. Also, you have our local elected official taking his oath of office. So he's coming in finally. We've been without a local elected official for about 5 months. It really affected the community. So yeah, we got a few good elections coming up, but I don't know if any of that really has any immediate impact in world famous Skid Row or in world famous downtown Los Angeles, because our economy works with them or without them.
Heard that. Proposition 22. I heard two sides of it, but everybody said vote yes on it. And it does have something to do with the drivers. Go to work. I'm asking you. Help me out there.
You said back to you, but you didn't ask me a question.
Proposition 22. It deals with the drivers. Mm-hmm. That situation. And some of them, from what I heard too, though, I meant to talk to a couple more though, but from what I heard, and Bobby used to take the Uber. I don't know if he take it anymore. Some of them want to have benefits. If you're an employee, you get the sick benefits, leave, vacation pay, all that kind of stuff. Okay. But I heard some of them say they like being independent drivers. They like to set their own schedule, and do it, that kind of situation. So one of y'all riding that Uber.
That's true.
Oh, hold on, before I get it. They say they're gonna shut down if this something go through too though.
I got you. Now, that is one of those dual systems that you choose, right? Because we all actually want to inspire people to be entrepreneurs. So sometimes you're an entrepreneur in a system, and in that system, it does have criteria as well. So you almost have to choose whether you're going to be literally an entrepreneur that is more so an executive, a boss, a person that actually pays for everything, or you're an entrepreneur but that still needs help, like a person like me, So I still work a C job because I still need to do more things. And of course, it's still content. It's content rich, the society we live in. So, but people still travel somewhere. So I know it's just some people like the freedom of driving places, but they don't want to drive. Because what I'm thinking about is between the Ubers and the benefits, because you got to choose a job that you can still manage. And then at the same time, you want the freedom. That's true. And just like truck drivers, they have their own license and some have their own truck, and they do pay their own benefits, and they actually hire other people and pay into their benefits. So that's a tough one for me. It's one of those things that deal with an executive decision, which way you want to roll the dice.
Well, that's why I'm pointing it out, because when we go to the polls, those propositions there, people are looking for somebody to vote.
Yeah.
And one thing about propositions, you can win a proposition with just a handful of people. You know what I mean? Because if don't nobody vote on it, and you just get you 1,000 people to vote on, one time we just gonna get on the podcast and talk about how you create a proposition. But I know Reverend Shaw's there itching.
Well, the thing is that it appears that the majority of the drivers who are in the industry want to stay independent. Let's remember that most of the Uber drivers and those people, this is their second job. So now if they become an employee, then they're going to lose money because they got to now quit their other job if they stay there, or we might lose services altogether because maybe most people will stay with their main gig. I say let these people be independent. And then there's another thing that I want to just throw out to the crew. How come it always got to be an either or? How come the people who want the benefits can't opt in as an employee, and the ones that don't want it can be part-time? I mean, it's like they make these big fights. They make these big fights over things that really shouldn't even be a fight, but it's about control. It ain't about the actual employee. It ain't about the employer. And then how many people will you put out of jobs if they say, well, hell, if I got to be there full time, I'll just stay where I am. And now you done cut back. And this might be just to help the taxi cabs. Well, I mean, see, we got to understand what might be going on underneath the scene, because the taxi cabs are hurting bad. They getting outbid, people are catching them at the airport, but a lot of people I've caught where I'm just basically text Uber, walked up and stepped in the first car that was there. It was just as simple. The only difference between a cab and an Uber is the text. So it's like Uber's lower prices is kicking the cabs in the butt. So maybe this is a movement by the cab industry to make the Uber and the DoorDash and all those people do the same thing that the cab drivers have, because most of them are full time and they've been suffering. So that might be what's behind it.
And the simple fact too, you got to think about the fact that we live in a sedentary lifestyle, all this pandemicism and so forth. Where are people going? How many, what's going on? Before when we was quarantined, I know that they had to be panicking. The Uber drivers and the Lyft drivers had to be panicking at that time. So yeah, it's got to be something underlying as well. And then if it's true that maybe things get to its not per se norm, but we have a more concentrated or increase of people moving back into the workplaces and so forth, and then there will be more of a need. So before that happens, it's got to be, I'm believing in some kind of impact, some underlying impact that is being created right now.
Oh, stop the show! Stop the show, OG. OG, stop the show! Stop the show right now. For Halloween, I'm going as OG. I got the white beard, I got the glasses, I got the black shirt. Can I be OG for Halloween?
You're already OG. You're already OG.
Okay.
My God, he's hilarious.
You're already OG.
We got the bald head, we got the gray, we got the glasses, we got the black shirt.
As soon as you hit 40, you get the OG. If you ain't 40 yet, you don't get nothing. You can't even sign up. You can't even sign up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Double O.
Anyway, I just wanted to throw that in. That's cool.
That's gonna be when we get back together, it's gonna be after the election. But I wanted to do one more thing here. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute.
Provides critical benefits to all drivers. Vote yes on 22. As an emergency physician.
Right there.
All right.
Oh, there it was. Okay. Here we go. Are we still sharing?
No.
No, it's not sharing right now.
Here we go.
Now it's starting to now.
I get to it.
That's the Russell Simmons of streaming and Bobby Buck.
That ain't working.
You need an Uber driver to drive your computer?
Dropbox near you. Just visit vote.ca.gov to find your nearest location. Then drop off your ballot. Your vote will be secure and counted. There are other ways to vote too. Just return your vote by mail ballot at your voting location or mail it back. Or you can vote safely in person during early voting or on election day. Vote the way you're most comfortable. Let's vote by 8 p.m. on November 3rd.
This is the California Ranger Alert. Warning, Prop 21 allows rent increases on the lowest income Californians by up to 15%. It's why the California Council for Affordable Housing, the California NAACP, the Compass for California Seniors, and Gavin Newsom say no on 21.
See you next time. Proposition 15 will raise property taxes $11 billion. Proposition 15 falls on us. Our small business rents will go up, and families could pay $960 or more for food, gasoline, electricity, and medicines. We can't afford this. And only about 30 cents of each dollar is for schools, just like the lottery. No on 15.
The choice for district attorney is clear. George Gasconi, he'll reform the system with treatment for nonviolent offenders with substance abuse and mental health problems. That's why he's supported by Gavin Newsom, Bernie Sanders, Henry Grimes, the Democratic Party, and leaders of Black Lives Matter. Jackie Lacey is part of a broken system, locking up low-level offenders and homeless people, excusing police misconduct, and destroying the lives of too many people of color. Vote Gascon for district attorney.
Harley Ruda is his name, and taxes are his game. Ruda gamed the system and dodged hundreds of thousands in taxes. But now, Ruda wants to raise your taxes. Especially when it costs too big. Higher taxes on income, higher taxes on business, higher taxes on your retirement. Tell tax cheat, tax raising hypocrite Harley Ruda, it's game over.
I am Michelle Steele. I approve this message.
Nearly every leading newspaper in California agrees. Prop 21 will make the housing crisis worse, inflate prices, and reduce the quality and quantity of housing. It's why 59% of Californians rejected the same bad idea last election. No on 21.
Find the closest official ballot drop box near you. Just visit vote.ca.gov.
Okay. Well, again, we're talking about down ballots and propositions. But the one thing that's kind of really, really interesting to me, and I went back to way back when we was talking about the forming of the Constitution, the founding fathers, is taxes. You know, taxes, man. I don't know how many people out here want to pay taxes. So when you get to thinking about the tax system and how it's set up, and then how rich people are able to avoid it, you know what I mean? You know, it's very interesting. So you hear people like, oh, Harley, you know, Rhonda, you know, want to raise taxes. We hear people talk about raising taxes, you know, especially when we think about where our money goes. I mean, as far as black people, going back to a black agenda, you know, we need to be serious about where our money goes. Because again, I'm not mad at no Chinese, no Afghanistans, I ain't mad at no Koreans, and I don't want to be paying no money for that. Now, back in the day, they called you militant and radical. They even locked up and took away Muhammad Ali's title, because he didn't want to go fight nobody. So we done been down this road, you know what I mean? Some folks go along with it. Everybody I know went to the military, went there for the benefits. You know, they didn't think they were gonna go to war. You know, they were gonna go there and come back and go get a GI Bill loan or something like that. So I wanted to point out that about propositions and why people need to be going to the polls during the year, as opposed to the president won, and don't pay attention to none of the other thing that's going on. and this other one down ballot, Jackie Lacey. So maybe we'll start there, right there with somebody. Jackie Lacey, go to work. The ladies always leave.
Well, I can start off on that.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like that.
It's very interesting in this because Jackie Lacey and rightfully so have been considered the villain. She never prosecuted a police officer for any of the things that they did. She basically seemed like she abandoned our community. But then when you look close, and I've met Cascone, and he came to the National Action Network, and me and him sparred a little bit. But he was an LAPD officer under Bratton. He went to San Francisco, according to some people, because I'm not up in San Francisco. His record is about the same as Jackie Lacey's, because the DA's office depend on law enforcement to win their cases. So they don't want to go against law enforcement and create a division, because if they don't have law enforcement presenting the case, they can't win it. So there's this tendency, no matter who the DA is, to side on the in line with law enforcement to be able to convict people. You will find that with Kamala Harris. You will find that with Cascone. You will find that with Jackie Lacey. You will find that all the way down the line. So, and I'll give you a quick example real quick. When I was a sheriff deputy, we found dope under the front seat of a car. I found the dope. So on the bag, I wrote FS, Fred Shaw. My partner, when he came to court, said that FS meant front seat. So therefore, now you got two conflicting testimonies, and I know that I found it. I know I found it on the front seat, but the judge in their right could have kicked it out, but they didn't, because that whole team works together. So as law enforcement, you get benefit of the doubt. Whereas if you, on the other end, you would have wanted that kicked out, because one officer said it was front seat, one officer said it was Fred Shaw who found it, but they didn't have the stories together, even though we did find the dope there. But I would tend to think if it would have been a white person, they might have kicked that out. So that's that's how that goes.
It's almost like, somebody's lawyer. You say it ain't gonna make no difference what DA gets in there. They both gonna have to work with the police department. Okay, so with black people, sometimes with us, if we gonna get messed over, sometimes like we just rather the white man mess us over than one of us. You know what I mean? Like if we gonna get messed over, cause we kind of expect that out of them. You know what I mean? Okay, well he's gonna do. So I don't know if that's one of the situations with Jackie Lacey. But you are right about that part. And you see that in the Breonna case with the district attorney. He went there and lied and just, bamboozled everybody. Came up out of there with that bamboozle statement. You know what I mean? Went to the grand jury. So you are right that that's part of across the country. But I'll tell you this here. He said he's part of LAPD, which means he knows LAPD. Number two, the union don't like him. That's enough for me right there. If the LAPD union don't like him, that's enough for me to vote him in, personally. If I was going to vote against him or Jack Lacey, I would vote him in.
Well, the only thing I want to say on behalf of Jackie Lacey, and I'm not defending her, but I think She came out of the streets, got caught up in a white world, and then got the idea that this is the way she's supposed to act. She looked up people was at her front door. Her husband got prosecuted or was going through court because he pulled a gun. I think she looked at the fact that she could lose. And then she saw people like Garcetti and them turn their back on her. I think that we can get more out of her because I think she has a reality that these people wasn't on her side because they loved her. They was on her side because she was carrying out their agenda. And the moment it became unpopular, she found herself standing out there on the curb by herself. So sometime when you come from the hood and you realize that world that you thought was good for you wasn't real, then you can change up altogether. I'm not saying that she will. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve what she's getting, because she didn't even prosecute a thing, nor I think Kamala Harris was there at the time. They didn't, in the state, they didn't prosecute the highway patrolman to beat the hell out that woman out there on the street. So, you know, I think that's a toss-up. People vote the way they want. You know what I'm saying?
Before I go on back to one of these propositions, Cleveland, who you got running out there?
On your DA, we got some DAs. We got a DA running. The thing is, what do you want from your DA? They gonna prosecute. What I want is them to be fair in the prosecution and not be so much on the team of the police. You know, you really need a separate, like it needs to be separate. There ain't that kind of real justice to happen. But as far as your question is concerned, we have a black man running for DA against the incumbent white woman.
That's a good point, because with Pastor always
say, bro. OG.
Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, locally we got a DA district attorney running locally. But statewide we have a few people running statewide as far as Democrats trying to take seats from Republicans. You know, Georgia is a Republican state, and the wave that's been going on, they hoping that this year Georgia flipped to being Democratic. That's how the news is going. But usually in Georgia, a lot of people show up to the polls the day of, and that's what they expect here as well. A lot of people gonna turn out the day of to vote. And usually there's a lot of Republicans that do that. That's usually Republicans that do that. So they're not really saying, a lot of people feel Trump's still gonna win, but they feel like a lot of local seats and the senators races they're gonna lose to Democrats.
But did you get a mail-in ballot or anything like that? Did you get one?
Everybody around me got a mail-in ballot but me, but I voted every time, but I don't know why I get a mail-in ballot. You know, I think it was a vote as early as last year sometime I went and voted. So they didn't send me one. I'm gonna go vote. I was thinking about going tomorrow. We have early voting every day, except for Sundays here.
What I was gonna say about what the pastor was saying, and I think if we even apply that to Jackie Lacey, the question becomes now, I think, very critical. We only got to 2032 to vote. Okay, so again, get out the vote, go vote, because you ain't got but 2 more times to vote on the presidential election, and there's a wrap. But what Jackie Lacey was going to run, because I haven't seen anything in her campaign. What are we going to get from her? I think it can be a key question.
About what you say about the voting in 2032, right? They usually extend it. They extend it all the time, right? So if they don't extend it this time, what about all the black politicians? They're gonna have to quit their job.
Well, you know, as we get, you know, with the our black political party, that should be a question you should ask them. What do they plan on doing? That should be a good question that we need to put to them, because actually they ain't doing too much. You know what I mean? We need to find out what they plan on doing for the next 8 years. You know, like you say, some of them been there for 30 years or whatever. You know, they should have some money put away. But Ron Crocker.
Now,
I don't know if I can get it. And it was something I wanted to get from. Can you hear me? So no on 21, no on 15. Like Pastor said, it's up in the air with Lacey and Garrison. I don't know. I haven't really heard any of them campaigning myself.
I can tell you this about Cascone, and it's, you know me, because of my thing with mental health and stuff. He wants to move in. See, what they're trying to do right now is they want to move, and listen to me carefully, because I know the rhetoric that they put out there, but they want to put mental health experts, supposedly experts. But if you ever hear me debate any of them, I slaughter them. But they want to put mental health experts to determine who should go to prison and who should go to a mental hospital. But you got to understand what they want to do in the mental hospitals. They can electroshock you, they can drug you, they can do a lot of things to you that they can't do necessarily in prison. Now, they can do it in prison, but for the most part, they need your consent. They use you getting out as leverage and things like that. But in the mental hospital, it's different. You have technically no rights, even though you're supposed to. And so in this country, people are being electroshocked. So let's say you are the head of the Black Panther Party, you're on trial. A mental health person can say, well, actually what he has, he's a sociopath and he needs treatment in the mental hospital. You get in the mental hospital, now you get electroshock and you're never the same again. These are the things that we have to think in depth of. We can't just keep going along with what they tell us is right and wrong. We got to start looking at this on a whole deeper curve, because they basically can take advantage of us. And I know this has happened in where's Cliff at, Georgia? That's happened to the state senator out there, where they did that to her sister. So, you know, we got to be careful.
I think somewhere along the line, because we remember what happened in Tuskegee with the syphilis,
exactly,
all the kind of experiments that they, you know, just the thing they done to Black people during slavery,
living
all kind of tests, all that kind of stuff. So, somewhere down the line, it hasn't been reinforced, you know, because now here, you know, how mothers are telling their sons how to act when you see the police, put your hands up on the dashboard, all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? But that kind of stuff right there, you know, like you say, it really needs to be checked.
all right. Hey, OG, you know, Bernie Sanders was running and he was talking about giving everybody free health care. And he was like, why we can't do it? Because it's countries that make less money to do it. So why the richest nation in the world can't give the people free health care? You know, that was a great and excellent point. And the reason why the country won't give everybody free health care is because the country evil. Is evil. Point blank.
And not only that,
that's about the mental, how they do mentally, or they say the mental patients and shock them. That's evil. You the Tuskegee evil. All that evil. It's evil, man. We got to fight it in a different way. Keep trying to fight the evil with the evil. Ain't nothing gonna happen but the evil. Jesus said, "What's good a demon casting out a demon? What's that got to do with the glory of God? Not nothing. You gotta go to the root."
And the thing is that they doing it that way because of the fact that you're absolutely right. They're evil, but it's more about money. In this country, we pay more for healthcare than any other country in the world, and we die faster. So it's about, in this country, the medicine is not to cure you or heal you, it's to treat you so you can live to be 70, 80 years old, and they done made every dime possible out of you. So that's what we're looking at in the medical profession. This is why it don't work. Hell, if a doctor was making $110,000 a year, and that's all he can make, we wouldn't be going through this. But they make big money because of these legislations and stuff. The wealth in this country is legislated. It's nothing else to it.
Ain't no morals to the money. And money, like the numbers, it keep going. And greed is something else. Greed, you're gonna always want, no matter what you got. And you got envy, and you got pride, and you got lust, and you got sloth, and all that go into all that. And they, you know, these politicians, these presidents don't never talk about the poor. Oh, the middle class, we're gonna get the middle class going again. Or we're gonna talk about the rich. They don't never say nothing about the poor. But they love God. They Christians. Right.
You know, it's because they consider the poor useless. This is what's behind that vaccine.
Wow.
It's like they anticipating that vaccine will take out a lot of people. And I bet you won't get the same injection in the inner city that they're getting out in the affluent areas. But, you know, because I remember when there was a nasty rumor, and a lot of people swore it was true, that when you went to the free clinic, they were injecting people with HIV. But how would we know? How would we know any better? So we got to start looking at these things differently.
Can't depend on the government.
You know what? You pointed out, we talked about the dialysis people, some of the people that let them die. We know the homeless people, they're going to let die. And then we see like, what, 200,000 people that died. How many people that died so far?
220,000.
And counting. And so they told us way back in February, March, about let the old people die. Remember that people should be great to die for the economy. You know, they kept trying to, I mean, they're throwing hints at, they're throwing the hints at, you know.
A society that don't see about their old, their youth, or their poor is evil. It's sick. It's ill. It's not in a country. This a republic, and this a place for you to get money. And if you ain't able to get money, it's so sorry, too bad. Die. So, you know, commit a crime, go to jail so we get money off you. Because until you're able to get it, that's just how it is here. You know, you got to have God. And you got to understand what you got to do and what we as a people need to do. You see the wrong why we keep participating in it. Let's do something about it.
Well, that's what I want to get to, because one thing, okay, election's going to happen. You got all these propositions we can go vote on. We've got to look kind of good because we got
What happened?
I don't know if he muted.
Can't hear you, OG.
Bro.
You know, but so with that going on, those are positive efforts that we got going on. But what should be done to keep people accountable? I mean, that we can kind of give some information to the other folks who want to participate, what they need to be doing to keep people accountable. You know, like telephone calls, going to, lobbying, those kind of things. Anybody want to add to that? Could we move into our final?
Yes, I agree that yes, we definitely should do the phone calls. We need to send the flowers and the cards. We need to do those nice things that keep people happy and thinking clearly. Yes. And to go back to share what Reverend Shaw said as well about Jackie Lacey being in the forefront and by herself, and the possibility that she could change. And like Clifford saying, different things happen when you get to those different levels. If she makes more money, you never know. That's just a stereotypical ideal, which we know, again, like I said, it's stereotypical. But what could we do to help her to not sway the other way and become part of the masses that has unfortunately been impeding the success of our generation?
You have meetings, or do they have like local meetings that the public is allowed to attend?
I think for LA, I think you can address it in the LA County or LA City meeting, and then they can bring the city or county attorney up. But I don't think that she might, but I don't think she has her own meetings. I think, but you know, the thing is this: when you get there, you find it's a whole different dynamic. Those police unions ain't no joke, and most of these people want to return to office. It doesn't matter if it's Herb, Castone, or whatever. The thing that can change this is that Black people really sit down and discuss the issues that affect our community, and then once it's resolved, what is actually happening, then we have to vote in a block that outdoes the money. They have a choice of accepting the money from the big corporations and big shots, which they use to help them get in office and other things, or the vote. It's only between the lobbyists and the voters. It's all the rest of that is camouflage. Who can control putting them in office is the only thing that matters to them. So the politicians yield to the big money because the masses, especially Black, don't come out and vote. So it's like, you ain't doing nothing for me. You ain't the reason I'm in office. It's these big check lobbyists that keep dropping me all these perks, got me in office. But if the masses started voting them out, I'm telling you, this thing, if we said this the other week, and I'm not telling anybody to do this, but if all Black people voted for Trump, the way that the doggone Democrats would try to quarter us back, what they'd be offering, what they try to give us, all this stuff would be so overwhelming, but they're not willing to do it to keep us, but they would do it to get us back. So we have to start making the politicians feel the power of the people again. And you might have to cut the Lakers off to go to a meeting. You might have to do that. But Popeye Theater ain't got nothing to do with our survival. We got to be able to take responsibility for that.
You know, I understand. I agree with you. But Black people vote. Black people vote. Like in my city, we got a Black mayor, we got a Black sheriff. They had to run for those offices. So we had to vote for them. When you vote, I believe that the vote is stolen. I believe that they put who they want in office. I believe that your vote is participation to see where your mind is at, to keep dissent down and a revolution from starting. I believe your vote is to say, oh, I participated and I have a say-so in who's going to lead us, especially nationally. But locally, Black people are running all kind of stuff. I believe Black people vote. I believe that's a narrative they try to tell us so we don't vote. I believe that's voter suppression to keep talking about Black people don't vote. Hillary had more votes than Trump, but Trump still won. Black people voted for Hillary. A lot of Black women voted for Hillary. They ain't vote for Trump.
But you was here when we did the show on electoral college vote, and the electoral college has always been.
I know. So, I understand that.
Yeah.
I still believe they vote. I still believe they cheat. I believe they cheat. I don't believe they honorable in that vote because they ain't never been honorable in nothing else. That's just how I feel about it. I'm gonna vote and I'm gonna participate so I can talk how I talk. But I don't believe they're honorable in their vote. I don't believe they're honorable in nothing.
Well, one question. If they cheat, how did Obama get elected?
They want Obama to be elected. What did he do for us?
Okay.
I love you, Obama. You hit your hand.
Okay, I just asked.
Y'all gave a lot of people. I'm gonna take that back. You did some stuff. But bro, man, I'm broke. I'm still broke for 8 years. I mean, I wasn't rich. He said you got to be 5 million in to be rich, and I wasn't 100,000 in. I wasn't 50,000 in. Look out for us. Who gonna look out for us? We got to look out for us. We got to look out for us. We need to go ahead and get this political party started. Look out for us. Elect our own president. We have our own president and we have our own governor. Every state we in, we have a governor and a president of the governor. And it's its sole purpose to make sure we get trades, make sure we get financially stable, make sure we get the proper education, the proper health care. The sole purpose is to do all that within the enemy country.
Would you run for president?
I don't know about that. I pray on that. You know,
he got a job right now. He's foreign affairs, getting this stuff going over here. But,
as a people, we do need to have an alignment ourselves with a country over there that's asking for us anyway. That's asking for us to come. We ain't necessarily got to all go, but we can make them a sister or a brother to us. That's definitely needed. You know, because they need us and we need them. Why not build a bridge?
Well,
you know,
a political party would be a vehicle, could be a vehicle to deal with, you know, other countries. You know what I mean? It could be a vehicle even to deal with the UN. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So,
you know, every time they talk about in the past, I think that got
possibility. Well, you know, that's gonna be the problem. We ain't gonna never get nothing done. You get killed by a damn truck.
No, I'm just saying.
That's another thing too.
It must be
have no one leader. You know, we can't have no one leader.
I'm saying it must be something they don't want to take you out. I ain't talking about. I ain't scared of dying, but it must be very important for us, for them to take out anybody who ever talked about doing that. So it's a very important thing. If the enemy to take you out, then we need to take it seriously and really do something with it, and not just talk.
Can you imagine? You know, you got to be able to imagine 40 million black people no longer in America. You know, that's a scary situation for them. I mean, come on. You brought all these people over here. You worked them hard. They built the country. Then you gonna let them go somewhere? I mean, why would you want them to go somewhere when they're still valuable? Because we go back to what I said earlier: taxes. As long as you here, you pay taxes. You pay a tax. Why would I want you to go somewhere? You pay taxes and you don't get nothing for it. Now that's like, you know, come on. That's like a crackhead giving you $100 for a $20 rock. You know what I'm saying? So
we getting pimped. The whole nation.
Well, you know what? It go back to what we said before. Capitalism. If you're a capitalist, you have found some kind of way to capitalize. And black people are consumers. They could go today and make $100 million, go to work. By Monday, most of their money gone. Most of that money gone by Monday. So yeah, you getting pimped in a way, yeah. You know, everything has a good expression. You know, but so that's why I want to get to these taxes. Because,
man.
Because listen, break down the senators, the Congress people, your mayors, your legislators, your police department, your fire department, all of them get paid of a taxpayer's money.
ALG, turn your
Then they
video
have
on.
the audacity to get themselves a raise when they decide to.
Yep. ALG, turn your video on.
Video.
Well, if not, don't
There got to be a better way.
Well, if not, don't worry about it. Just keep on talking.
My computer's all messed up, so I don't know what you do. But well, yeah, it got to be a better way. You know, that's what I'm saying. You just got to do what you got to, because come on, man. You hear all this stuff about China. You hear all this stuff about, oh man, Russia is messing with the election. I ain't got nothing from Russia. They must not want me. So I ain't got nothing from Russia. Okay, but they messing with the election. China, yeah. On the same token, America's gonna be dealing. America's gonna have foreign trade with Russia. They're gonna have foreign trade with China. They're gonna have foreign all this stuff with a lot of people.
Hey, OG.
Yeah.
Hey, they say Iran interfered with Russia. Talking about Iran sent letters to Democrats from the Proud Boys giving them threats.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what really happened. The Proud Boys sent letters to Democrats threatening them. All right? And so you got to cover up the nonsense and say, well, Iran participating now. Now it's Iran, Russia, Korea, all of them participating in U.S. elections to get Donald Trump elected. It don't make no sense. Why would Iran want Trump elected when Trump killed Iran's hero? Don't seem like they want him president to me. Seem like they want him civilian so they really get him. You know, you got to watch all this mess, man. See, Fox News is for Trump. Hold on, Fox, Trump. CNN is Democrat. MSNBC is like right in the middle, right? But you can see, you get the truth out of all of it, you get lies out of most of it. It's all some bull. Like this so-called race thing they started. They started this when Trump started. They started this race baiting thing when Trump come in. You know, when we growing up, man, we handled that growing up. There wasn't no issues like that after a while. You know what I'm saying? Now all this mess, all this bull, these Trumpsters, these racists coming out of the woodwork done lost their mind. Yeah, a lot of that got to do with what you watching on TVs too. A lot of that got what to do with what you watching on TV. Trump been on TV every day for the last 5 years. Y'all ain't tired of Trump. I'm sick of hearing about Trump. I don't care if he get president again. I'm tired of seeing the man on TV every day with the propaganda. It's propaganda. We sitting up here talking about which snake we gonna put in office. Don't none of these snakes care nothing about us. These snakes care about us. Let's talk about the PACs again. Let's move into how we get them PACs for us to move forward in our society. Because a person gonna vote for who they gonna vote for whatever reason they gonna vote for. They're like 6 days away. People done made their mind up, but they ain't voted already. I done made my mind up who I'm gonna vote for. You know what I'm saying? Because if Trump is to tear down this country and build a black man, the black community up by not even trying to do it, then I'm for him. But if Biden is to do it, that's who I'm for. Whoever's gonna help us is who I'm for. You know what I'm saying? We can first have a black woman. We don't have a black president. Now we have a black woman vice president. You never know. She might be for us. She an AKA. She might be for us on the street. She might be playing a role. She might be playing undercover. She might be one of us. She might be undercover brother agency. You never know. I'm just saying, you don't know what's going on. You got to look into the policies and look into their eyes and look what they talk about. Why would she call Biden a racist? Trump done already showed us he a racist. Why would she call him a racist? Then she want to run. So maybe she got her agenda on her own. Maybe she's trying to help. You just never know.
Yep, you do.
Everybody got an agenda. The point I'm trying to say is, even though we go to the polls for the proposition or whatever, we got to start having our own agenda. It's like, Obama didn't do nothing. But first of all, well, we did make some attempts at Obama, but if you don't take, I don't know no politicians that got no ideas. I don't know that. Oh, I'm going there. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Well, they might have one or two ideas, but after that, they need suggestions. That's why they started, like in California, the neighborhood councils. Somebody to give them some information. Somebody to give them some ideas. You know what I'm saying? So that's the key thing. Again, whoever get in there, we're going to deal with whatever the system will be. But how do we go about doing it? And how do we set up some structure so we can have some impact? Because I'm not waiting on Kamala or what you call it to go write up nothing, talking about this is what we got for you. That's what always happens. Somebody write up something saying like the stimulus package. Now I am waiting on that one though. We waiting on somebody to write up something and give it to us.
That's politics.
Wait a minute.
Politics.
Hold on.
Politics also is write them up something and give it to them.
He didn't hit a nerve. Look, somebody wrote up something to be objective to help to draw the line and to help us with a plan of action on the front end instead of waiting on the back end. And that's Ice Cube. We talked about that before. And then we still dealing with people that don't. Yes.
I'm with you.
But we know, we got to keep on doing that. You know what? It's like 40 million of us, okay? So all we got to do is get enough of us to do that. I don't care if it's 10,000. But we're getting ready to raise some money, so we're going to have to reach out to a lot of people.
Yeah, sometimes it only takes that one, though. Remember that. Sometimes it only takes that one, and then that one, that's just like whoever gets elected, we have to move on that one because there's only one position at that time. Just like it was only one World Series to be won this year. Yeah. It's one championship. So we do have to go. It's real. When we do have more than we have all these multiple plans and ideals and concepts and nothing gets done, that's an error. That's something that's awry. Those are all those outliers. If you look, I want to start talking about math and everything, but that's what the issue is. We need to find one, or at least like right now we have one. We have to work with what we have right now already. Like you talk about time constraints. We have got to move in a mass to help. And then one thing about the person that created this plan, let's say Ice Cube with the contract with Black America, has opened the door for people to help, to add input. It wasn't like just a one rodeo. So we need to band together with people that have already did the work and help them to stay afloat, just like the young lady. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with that in mind, since you guys are listening at the drop of a dime, because I'll rhyme at any given time, let me tell you this. This is my wish list. And that rhymes too. But I have investigated in my research before too. Because I think about the mind, the way the mind works. And in another life, I think I would be a neurologist. I'd like to study the mind. But we've heard a lot of different things. What helps us to heal the mind? What helps us to stay in balance? What helps us to naturally heal ourselves? We already know that we're supposed to find out when we sleep, how much we need to sleep at certain ages and stages of our life and so forth. But if we do some of those things and try to get rid of some of the stress that we do have, and help the people that are in position or have the will and the work ethic and the drive to help to mobilize, well, that's what we need to do. We need to band together with them. We need to help them and cultivate what they're doing, so that way the harvest is rich for us.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Well,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
I think OG dropped off for a second.
Let me get my gavel out.
Yeah, go ahead and do your
Run it, sister, run it.
Go ahead. Go to work.
Absolutely, go to work.
Yeah, but OG, I think his video dropped off, so because we keep it going.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the main thing that we just all got to realize that there has to be a transformation of the way we think. We can say that we don't trust white people, but they tell us what to think. They tell us to do Planned Parenthood. They tell us to take mental health drugs. They tell us to do all of these things, and we follow along like little puppies, but we don't think on our own. They've made it to where it takes us so much to get through college that these people got to be right. It's so hard for us to get through there, so they got to know what they're talking about. When the truth of the matter is, the only way to know if you're an expert is, can you fix something? If you're an expert in the economy and you can't fix it, you ain't an expert. If you're an expert in the martial arts and you walk out there and some little cat cold cock you and knock you out, you ain't no doggone expert. Knock it off. You got to be able to produce. And if you can't produce, then you ain't what they say it is. Why is it when I owned my group home, everybody that worked for me, especially social workers and all that, had degrees? I had none. I just own the business. So it's a whole different way we got to start thinking. And we got to make it known, this place, who can our partnership with to open up a business? This is the new way of thinking. It ain't about going out there and getting a good job no more. That's the way we were taught. It's about going out there and finding a way to have entrepreneurship. And when we talking about reparations, we talking about the money that it takes to open up a business. You know, the business that we know, not just to open a business that we know, so we know how to make it sustain itself. These are the things we got to start doing and quit looking at these people. The Native American got casinos, what we got? Do you realize when we were free from slavery, they originally gave us beachfront property because they thought the sand wasn't that valuable?
Yeah.
And then another person came along and stripped us all of that. See? And he unwittingly, through his selfishness and racism, didn't know that he was stripping the power of the future, because now people pay all kind of money to have beachfront property. This is the way we got to think. This is the way we got to handle it. The heck with the rest of it, what they think. I don't mind getting along with anybody, but I really don't care what 99% of the people around me think about me. Because, 15 years from now, I probably won't even be here. And I'm not going to spend it worrying about people who don't make a difference in my life.
Go to work. Look at the Reverend trying to be nice. Exactly. I know what you mean. Yeah, you pull that right on back. That's why I say, sometimes you want to be Queen GCPT on here. Absolutely. Let some people know. Absolutely. Because we have to meet, like they said, it's a cliche, people meet people where they are and take them where you would like them to grow. And you can help them to grow, to go further, right? And then we try to work together like we're working together here on this live. And thank you very much, Bobby Buck, the producer of this show right here. Good work. I would like for us to continue to think outside the box, like he says. Absolutely. And then just like you talk about people owning businesses, and the people that have to work for those businesses, those are the ones that have actually put the work in and have the degrees or certifications and have to continue to go and get the professional development and so forth. But because the person that had the money to open a business, they had the vision, and then they have people to operate in the vision. So just like we have some people that they have the people, they have the resources, yet they lack in the vision to have it, to roll it out, to listen. That's what they lack, is listening skills, because they have the resources, they have the buildings, they have the people, the paperwork, the people, the grant writers, they have everything at their disposal, but they don't move, they don't act on it because it seems like they're confined for some reason. And I'm like, man, we need to get some more people. So like, I really would like to know what else Ice Cube has in his mindset, because we know that we've seen how he flirts with some other different things, and just these 22 pages in his contract, you know, it's got to be more to it than that. Just like we know we can card stack a lot, you know, just like some of these politicians, they card stack, but at the same time, if we turn over some of those cards, will they be empty or will they be depth? Will they have depth to them? So just like one piece of paper, it can have so much depth to it than a stack of 5,000 pieces of paper.
Well,
I feel like the contract could start like the contract could go towards starting a political party. What Pete Diddy was talking about, like what we talked about last week.
Yes.
That could be part of starting a political party.
Absolutely.
Like, we really need to start that, you know, in all aspects of it. And then, but the thing about the politics is having backing on what we decide to do. Like if just say now, if when everything goes right, and we start making decisions through our politics, through our party, we gonna have to have something. We're gonna have to have backing.
Right. Okay. And then I think that goes into what Reverend Shaw is saying. If we go into the block voting, we go into the block decision making. We had the critical thinkers moving together. So we have people to stop. We get people to stop spending their money outside of the community and a system that we have already built, because we already have people that do everything from agriculture to everything. You understand? From all the basic needs, we have that. So
I mean, I'm talking like more like an army.
We got that too. We got the street sergeants, the street soldiers. We got the street generals. We got them.
If you look at the proposal,
the Reverend sitting over here, he know him too.
Yeah, if you listen to what he was saying, it's open for development. He like he just came with no full package. So everybody, you know, the thing that you see, you add to it. You know what I mean? So we had already talked about a political party. So we want to add to that. That contact with America, we want to add to that.
Absolutely.
Getting in contact with them. But it was left open like that. You know what I mean? Because don't nobody got all the answers and everything. You know
right,
what I mean?
And we would get that together if we get people to stop negating things that they don't even know about, or negating what they based on hypothetical and people's past and everything. If they stop attacking Ice Cube, we can move somewhere. But first, we had to deal with that. We got to fight through the naysayers. We got to fight through that, negate through that, in order to take the paper that's objective, that doesn't have any feelings, but objectivity and growth, a drive for the future based on somebody with a growth mindset.
That's just tricks of the trade. That's the devil trick, you know.
Right. So we need some therapists along the way, because just like OG you saying, we need to add the people, add the concepts, add more fuel to the fire, because we need to press forward in an urgent manner. We have everything at our freaking fingertips.
Well,
now
everybody on here has something. Everybody on here has something. So hopefully, I know by the time election get here, you know, we'll have that, you know, information on how to contact both of them. You know, that kind of stuff. I think they both got some information on there.
Does Q have something we can contact him?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that to everybody too, because I'm trying to, you know, make sure I got everything. I know how he is right now, but that's what we need to do. And like I said, we already got some things in the works. So all that kind of stuff, even what Marshawn got, all that stuff. So it's gonna be where, just like we want to go meet with whoever going to the White House, we want to meet with Q. We want to meet with Puff Daddy. That's how we got to do that. It might be something like this here. However, it got to go down, because they got some people out there. You know what I mean? They not hiding like that. So all we got to do is follow through. Anything that we doing, you know, is follow through. If we don't follow through on nothing, and because like we said before, we trying to deal with solutions, not just a chit chat and all that kind of stuff. You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
And with that in mind, I would say, because I know we have a lot of generals and we do have a lot of people, and we have have connects and so forth amongst us all, that is if we could put in play, OG, Reverend Shaw, our elders here, please let them know that we can have subdivisions as well. We can have areas, or we can have different regions of the plan as well. So just in case, somebody doesn't agree with this or that, call it a different region. If even maybe they might not even like subdivision, that type of thing. Whatever you guys know, I'm still the nerd from Compton, but at the same time, it's whatever the terminology needs to be used. But can we make it to the point where if they have a slight disagreement, or one person wants one facet to go a certain route, a certain way, or on a certain timeline, if we can have something put in place where we can table it, we not even table it. We don't have time for that shit no more.
Just call it a method. Just call it a method. This method or that method. They don't have to necessarily be in that disagreement. You do it this method, and you do it this method. Just call it that.
So it's like Clevo having a chapter there. We having a chapter here. Earl and them having a chapter in St. Louis. Start creating chapters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like any political party. LA County, San Diego County, whatever. All of them got their own chapters. Okay. And the one thing about a political party, they all got their own fundraising committee. So whatever's going to happen, there's going to have to be a group of people. That's all they specialize on, is raising money. Whether it's telethons, events, fashion shows.
Okay. Yes, let's deal with that too. Here's the other thing about when we start talking about fundraising, we need to have people that's on the same mindset. Some people don't gel together enough to deal with that, because we have our structured people, we have our non-structured people, we have people that work with the dual mentality of wait a minute, this is realistic fiction here, this is nonfiction. So we definitely need committees for that too.
Well, see, we'll just take somebody like you.
Thank you.
We'll take somebody like you and put you in charge and get you a whole bunch of workers that don't want little bees that want to work, don't want to do a lot of chit chat.
I would appreciate that. I would love that.
Oh, we can do that.
Can we start on? This is the Black Political Party. What's the name of it and the chapter, so I can get stuff going? We can get some shirts, get it all, so we can get political.
You know what? I want to get in touch with both of them.
Join it. I can start wearing shirts around town, start talking to my brothers and sisters. And one more thing, I know this ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
We got to make a move to get in touch with them so we can get approval to do that. Or, like we talk about chapters, you can always create, let's say, a unity party, okay, that would be affiliated with that party. You know what I'm saying?
No, it ain't got to be. We can be underground.
Well, we not underground right now. One, we done shared this show about 50 times already, and we live.
Yeah. Let me say this here about that Clippers. Yeah. When I was in the Black Panther Party, man, young guy, there was two great leaders. One of them was Huey Newton, and the other one was Elvis Cleaver. And Elvis Cleaver was Minister of Information, and Huey Newton was Minister of Defense. When the FBI got to vamping on the Black Panther Party all around the country, Elvis Cleaver said the Black Panther Party should go underground. Huey Newton said, no, the people need to see the Black Panther Party, so we're going to stay above ground. But he was Minister of Defense, and Elvis was Minister of Information. And what I learned from that, they was in the wrong role. Elvis Cleaver should have been Minister of Defense, and Huey Newton should have been Minister of Information, because Huey liked to do a lot of talking. But when they got vamping all over the country, Elvis Cleaver said, go underground. And because we didn't, you see what happened to the Black Panther Party. So
True.
you need both. You need both. That's
Right.
why I learned about nonviolent people that like to protest. You need those.
Yeah.
Somebody got to stay out there, but you also need some people underground. Okay.
Like, I grew up in the CME church. My father was a CME preacher, right? So in the CME church, certain times of the year, they have conferences where all the preachers get together and certain lay people of the church, and they have a conference, and the bishop decide if the preacher go back to the church or if he go to another church or whatever, right? Now, these conferences was paid for by the CME church. Now, me growing up in that church, learning how Black people can have their own, on the low, paid for, and see about their own. It can be done. I seen the church do it. We can do it across the whole country. Because Reverend Shaw is a CME church in LA. Plenty of CME churches all over the country. Right?
Yeah.
So we can do it. We can do it on the ground, above ground. They know about the CME church, but they don't know about everything that go on in the conference. Ain't nobody in the conferences spying on them. This is a church.
Exactly. Hear ye, hear ye.
So we can do it.
So, excuse me. Reverend Shaw, Clifford was talking to you, and he was talking to you about the reverends in the church business and how he saw. Okay, so I need you to speak up. I need you to speak on that because you know you have a plan for that.
Well, we are organizing the clergy right now. We got the South Bureau Ministers Alliance, the Baptist Ministers Conference. We got a whole bunch of groups, ministers that are coming together, and we're going to be addressing a lot of these issues. In fact, I'm trying to set a meeting, a Zoom call of the ministers in November, because the thing is this: the power of change is in our hands. I look at all of the plans, I look at everything, but there's a word that we always, or a little group of words we always say. We gonna ask them. They gonna gotta give us. No, we ain't asking nobody for nothing. You get your power base together and you tell them what you want. I mean, the gay community should not be able to push harder than the Black community. I mean, we gotta look at that. I'm not condemning nobody. I'm not bad mouthing nobody. But they get out there. I was looking at a conference call today. The sister from the LGBTQ community was on there. She's a Black woman. She mentioned LGBTQ about 8 times. She didn't mention the Black folk, even though she's Black. She representing, and we have to be careful because they continue to divide us. They separate the woman from the man, the Black gay from regular Black. They keep separating and dividing light skin, dark skin, and this and that. And we have to understand we are a people. And, you know, they even go so far in the white community, if somebody identifies with us too closely, they call them white trash.
Yeah. Levels.
So we have to take it to a different, and we're actually working on it right now.
You know what?
We got a lot of energy. I may very well Saturday become the president of the Inglewood NAACP. Many of you brothers, almost all of you, are on the national task force thing that I have. We already got the entities. We just got to decide how we gonna work this thing. I don't care if we set up something different, but like if you are a minister and you are of the Muslim faith or the Hebrew faith or whatever group of minister you are, I'm the doggone United Interfaith Clergy Council chair. I mean, there's a lot of ways we can attack this thing. We don't have to create nothing new. I ain't got nothing against creating nothing new, but we can beat this thing. And trust me when I say, I got a plan for this stuff. I'm putting it together. And my sister put me on Front Street because she heard too many times how I'm trying to do this. She sat in on meetings where I was with different clergy people and we were discussing this stuff. So, you know, we all just got to decide. And what I do, I want all of you guys on this call with me. I want all of you guys with me, and I'm with you. Because we got intelligent brothers. We got people that's thinking in different. I mean, think of Marshawn trying to do the whole African. That boy ain't playing. You know, look at what OG and Coach Ron and all of them are doing down on the homeless. Probably the most effective group down there. It's like we got the movers and the shakers right here on this call, and there's other movers on the shakers that we all got access to. And we got to bring them all to the same table. And once we do that, then the masterminds will really kick in. And we will change this thing without firing the shot.
Right. Well, here's the next thing. I heard you say in November. Yes. And you did say that. I've been listening to you. So November is next week. Do you have a date yourself?
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at possibly the 16th.
We don't talking possibility right now anymore.
Well, I don't have the exact date right now. I'm trying to survey some of the brothers to know when they're available.
Okay, we'll start the meeting and most of us will be there.
Well, I will start the meeting, and at our next meeting, I will tell you if it's the 16th or the 19th.
Go to work. And then, you know, we have Bobby Buck who can record the meeting. And then we can have another meeting. But we need to start one meeting, the first meeting.
I already did talk to Bobby Buck about that. We already on the same page.
All right, it's all checked off. You checked off with that then.
Hey, y'all, she's not my wife. She trying to act like it.
No, I'm not. Lord Jesus.
She's trying to run me like she's my wife.
No, I'm trying to get things done. Look, we need to get past that. Don't bring no sexism in this situation. I'm trying to get things done. You understand me? Exactly. Like Clifford saying, look, he didn't see it happen. You didn't say it. You didn't heard me. I didn't talk to you so many times. I've been at these arenas. I've been at these different places. I didn't host the radio shows. Exactly. So I know that it takes somebody to push the envelope. And I know it must be me.
There you go. And it must be you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm scared of your tall self.
Hey, for the record, I don't agree with the people of color statement. We're not people of color, man. We black folk, man. Or we brown, man. I believe that's a slick way of them trying to include minorities that's not black.
Well, you know what? This is why I like what Q came up with. And you know they wasn't in the same room. He came up with black contract. Pup Day come up with black political party. And both of them, it's about time with the pastor say, key in on us. The other thing Umar said, because you got to include Umar in when you get to talk about the pastors. So we got a lot of Islamic people with us. Okay, if you seen Humanitarian Day downtown Skid Row, and also they're in Africa too, and that developed off of Skid Row, the Humanitarian Day. So we have a lot of pastors with us too. We got to have a plan. Which it was me, you, whatever, we all said we need a plan. Okay. So all the people we know think a lot. Now go to work. She finna go to work because she gonna connect all the dots. You gonna connect all these dots. You know.
I didn't know that, but I know what you can play.
Yeah, but so because it's gonna come a time we got to raise some money. And entertainment is going to be the best way. And we're going to be able to do it online. But we got to have it on precision. Because, you know, somebody tried to steal out me and Bobby's idea. You know, it take a lot of work to be coming from Georgia, Alabama, here, and everybody be in sequence.
Right.
You need a lot of trial runs.
Amen. Pardon me. Yes, absolutely, OG. And that's the concept we got to get past too. About people talking about we grew up on that too, about stealing our ideas. We have got to work together. That's why they say the graveyard is the richest place, because people held on to their ideas. They did not share them. They didn't write them down. They didn't even try to copyright them. They didn't record it. They didn't do anything.
Go to work. Go to work on that. That's heavy.
Well,
that's heavy.
The thing is, next time we go to our podcast, the election gonna be over with. And we did all these other, podcasts. We done talked about racism, police brutality. We done talk about some other topics we didn't get to because we try to keep everything in real time. We just don't talk about what's really going on. Okay. So
can we talk about an agenda for
that's what we're going to be putting together, and
that should be the next thing.
On the agenda. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because election's over with. We done did our to vote.
Yes, OG, pardon me. And just like Clifford said, can we set an agenda? Can we be a little proactive? Can we spend 5 minutes on trying to?
We can. We can.
Of course. Yeah.
Go to work on fire today, boy. See him.
That's all right, because I was talking about next week, so we get a real big head start. You know what I mean? I already put the one thing together, which was de-escalation. I think we sent the proposal to you too. You know what I mean? So that everybody could go over it the same way with the contract with Black America, everything. It just was a skeleton. So add on everything. One thing we did come out of there with Duck coming on there was, the lower than 13 years old. Because we got to get at these kids young. You know what I mean? And so we got that. It's almost like a boot camp, almost like Kuta Kinte training. We finna train them how to be real soldiers, really. We can't use all that vernacular, so we call it, community organizers, okay? But we're going to get them to be servants of their own community. So a lot of that leg work that you're going to need, because you talk about a political party, in every city, every town, every state, we're going to need some lobbyists. We're going to need, if it's City Hall, we're going to be able to take 200 people to City Hall at any given moment, anywhere, any given time. Go in any councilman, legislator, a state assemblyman with 200 people, ain't enough room for them to even get in their own office. They're all out in the hallway. We'll get our point across.
And I heard a beat.
Go to. You can do that in every city.
OG, have you heard of BPAC? BPAC is black. It's something about black. It's a black pack, man, about voting.
Oh, you talking about BayPAC?
Black Progressives Action Coalition.
Oh, okay.
What is centered at?
This was on my doorstep when I came home the other day, and it was on a Thursday right after our podcast. Believe it or not, but they was telling you about early voting and when to vote and how to vote. When I looked up the website, it's almost like a black party almost, and it's called Black Progressive Action Coalition.
You need to get with them.
I brought that up because I think it's some more out there, and what we need to do is like look them all up, and we all need to unify, and that can be part of how Go to Work say about different subdivisions or different methods, because some of these people feel different, but we all have same goals. So we can unify a whole political party throughout the United States, throughout all the ones that's already done started. We just unify. It all together. You know what I'm saying?
And that could be the black political party. Just all different groups coming to one group.
Right.
Then you'll be able to discuss different things. You know what I mean? Come to some kind of a conclusion on how we want to vote, or do we want to split? Because think about it. If the black community was organized right now, and we got 60 million people that go, or whatever, 60 million people going to vote, or whatever. Mm-hmm. We could decide 30 million vote over here and 30 million y'all vote over there. You know what I mean?
Right.
We could control the way we vote.
Exactly. Awesome. Exactly. I'm like I was saying before, we can get together and have conference throughout the nation. We can get together and have a West Coast conference, a Southern conference, or the East Coast conference. Midwest conference. We can get together and have conferences to share ideas and to work the agenda out and to make plans of actions to make things happen.
That's
like,
right.
We can do
Absolutely.
that.
And you know,
we can charge dues, and the dues go to the central bank for us and everything. It's a whole lot we can do. It's like it's wide open now. It's wide open.
I didn't announce this earlier, you know, but we have put together a structure. Yeah, I mentioned earlier the Committee for Community Politics. So all of y'all on the committee already. So we're gonna have our own Committee for Community Politics, okay, across the country. You know what I mean? And this do come from New York too, though. But things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? We need to set up structures where we can move people. Because people, the thing that we have, it talks about money, that money wasn't really real, you know, because I was getting into this cryptocurrency and all this kind of stuff. You know, the fact that money wasn't really real, but you trust the fact that it can go buy you something at the store. So a trust factor is involved, even though the money really ain't real, because you can't go, you know, there ain't no gold backing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the government backs the dollar bill. Okay?
That's why we have to do gold. Absolutely, we have to buy gold.
Absolutely. Well, that's a real currency. You know, that's a real currency. But
that in the
currency, dollar bills, you know, your credit card ain't really real. You know what I mean? So, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we need to find all the gold we can. You know, look, hold on. Ghana say, soon as you get to Ghana, they give you citizenship soon as you land. Us, black people in America. But the beautiful thing about that, once you become a Ghanaian citizen, you can buy gold cheap.
Let's go back to this here.
I'm just saying. Just think about it.
Go back to this here. Taxes.
Here.
Taxes.
That connect.
I don't care where you go, somebody wants some taxes. I don't care if you go in the neighborhood trying to sell some crack. Somebody gonna tax you. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important because that's why I'm saying taxes is very important. Now, when it comes to businesses,
corporate
we're gonna start some businesses, corporations, whatever, that's gonna pay taxes.
We start a corporation and pay the corporate tax. It ain't that much.
I also know I've been in businesses where I didn't pay no tax. You know what I'm saying? And there's black people right now that's in business that don't pay no tax.
And you know what we could do? We could make it a business.
Go to work. That's true.
The whole party.
That's true.
You hired.
That's true. Go to work. That's real.
That's our solution to the problem. The black political party. Come on.
We can make it a business, and everybody, whoever part you hire.
Yeah.
And let's say go to work.
Absolutely, go to work. That's for real.
If you look at cryptocurrency, when you get the the Bitcoins and you win something, it ain't real money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, like, I done hired a lot of people say, well, I ain't getting no money. You don't need no money. This ain't about no money. You hired, okay? You come down there, you help me clean these streets up. You hired. You get more than money. You get your self-respect back. You get things that money can't buy.
Get that resume.
You get the love of the people. They love you.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You ain't getting paid. I said you was working.
Go to work.
You working.
That's right.
You working.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? You go anywhere and say, I was just working down the street, pushing that broom, cleaning up all that stuff, picking up the garbage. You was working. Don't say you wasn't working. Okay.
We got to work on some people's mindsets too that like to put people to work and they don't do the work. They don't like to work. They don't respect the way other people work and just as much as them. You know, they don't understand work ethic. So we need a song for that. We need a rap for that. We need a song or a rap for the taxes. I heard you singing, Cliff. I'm really not sure if you singing or not. I don't.
We finna get him busy. We finna get him busy. Well, he's working with. I ain't got him right now, but he sent me a couple things I was working on, but it ain't got the beat I want. But yeah, he's busy. But that right there,
you can sell that.
we're gonna need you to lead the speeches. Why people should be donate when we get ready to do this Zoomathon or whatever. Why people should be donating to all these different things. We're gonna need a lineup of some reputable people. You know what I mean? We got enough on the podcast, but we want to have. You talking about doing you talking about 24 hours?
I can only do 23.
Well, you know, the good thing that we have is pre-recording things. See, we can pre-record a lot of stuff, and then fit in stuff.
That's true. Let me tell you about Andrew Williams Jr. They do a podcast all over the continent. We got a call that is connected with over 100 countries. We do have access to that already. Mm-hmm.
I know Andrew too.
So
absolutely.
That's gonna take more. That's gonna take work.
Yeah,
they working it so we can do it. They doing it on that what is it?
But what I mean by that is you trying to do a podcast for 24 hours, it has to be entertaining. And we need to work out the entertainment and what's entertaining, and this is like something that hasn't been done.
Well, so let me tell you how it can be done.
I ain't saying it can't be. I'm just saying like, the entertainment part of it has to be entertaining.
This is why I said a good part about pre-recording, because if a lot of people pre-record what they got, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to do it that day. We just put it all together.
I got you.
That's right.
We need all the bells and whistles. We need different colors. We need sounds. We need people that's into understanding the multiple intelligences. We also need to know how people understand the marketing tactics in the industry, and that's why McDonald's still deal with commercials. And Reverend Shaw called it the Popeye Theater, the Popeye restaurant. That we need all of those things happening as well, because some people do not have this strategic active listening ear as we do in this group right here, because this call would have been over. Even with Reverend Shaw looking at the TV, myself,
I'm not looking at the
TV or whatever.
I'm not looking at the TV.
But you know, we want to get some stuff, like I say, from different cities, but also from overseas, because we want to go overseas. So we need to, you know, get that information. So people that like Walter Pierce, he just moved over there, but we got people overseas that can add to the entertainment too. You know what I'm saying?
You know how to act. You guys, we should do like some acting clips in this.
Who was you talking about, Reverend Shaw?
Like
he know how to act.
OG, I know. I've seen OG.
He'll come in every hour on the hour. Wake up, go get back up.
I'll do sermons. I'll do whatever we need to do. We need a sermon, I'll do it. You need some acting out?
Yeah, you know what?
Movies. I've been in movies.
A couple of sermons. You can have a couple of sermons.
Y'all don't know he got superhero books.
We do some skits. Pre-do skits yeah, sermons, prayer, songs.
And we can do reruns too, just like our favorite shows, Good Times and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Best of Black comedy shows, like a best of Sanford and Son and Good Times and Jefferson, stuff like that. Or the Star.
Absolutely. Go to work with all of the subliminal messages. Go to work, Clifford.
And we don't even know the amount of people out there who might want to be part of it that can help in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, there's actors.
We need them to speak up. Hello, DM us. No problem. Come on, let's go to work.
See, what we got to do, let's say, okay, pick a date. Let's pick a date. Let's say we want to do it like in June.
Do what in June? June sound like a long time away. What is that?
It is a long time away. So
I got diabetes. I might not make it that far.
Shut up.
you want to do it in December, okay? No, that's it. December, January, and February.
Now let's look at. Why don't maybe we should look at doing something for Black
December,
History?
January is good because you got Christmas and you got New Year.
They were
what do you call that? What you call that? Goodwill among all men and women, all that kind of stuff. So,
what about doing something for Black History?
We could put something short. You know what I mean? You know, but it's got to be a fundraiser.
Hey, February is good, or March. February is good for Black History Month fundraiser. March is good too. But why don't we do something before then, like periodically letting the people know we got something coming up? Like we might throw your song out there, OG, with the official video. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll do a skit. And whatever we title this thing, we're like, you know, look forward to this coming, the whole day of nonstop entertainment. We might get Pastor one of his sermons Sunday morning up there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And one of yours. And one of yours too. Talking about 24 hours.
It's long.
Yeah, I'm talking about this.
Fundraiser.
This is like the weeks before that. We do something every week before the actual event. That's what I'm saying. Like a build up to the event. Like whatever date. We say we're gonna do it February 19th. So February 19th is the actual date. So, but every week before then, we throwing up somebody that's gonna be in the telethon. You see what I'm saying? The marathon. And so people can we building it up. That's like marketing. We just build up to the day of. It's like marketing. And we need to do that. Like whatever expertise we got, we need to put them. We need to go to work and get it together. Start filming, recording for this. And then we do that day too.
February 12th, like here.
We could do a live show just like this that day and have OG host and say, all right, here's another clip from Reverend. Here's a clip from whoever, you know.
Okay.
Feel me, Bobby?
Okay.
I'm with you.
Yep. It's all good.
So, who gonna have a clip on the 4th?
What's that? Hello?
The 4th.
Who looking for a fork?
Well, you said we're gonna do something building up to the 12th, right?
I thought you said a fork.
You gotta get it out, me boy. The 4th.
Okay.
Okay. So
the 4th of November.
No, yeah, 4th of November. We got the 4th.
The 3rd is the vote date.
Huh?
Right.
It's not the 3rd.
No.
November 3rd is a Tuesday.
Yeah, vote Tuesday, right?
Right, but he's saying that we come back on the show on the 4th, right?
Yep.
Oh, you saying what we're gonna talk about?
Yeah, on the 4th.
Let's talk about this.
Well,
if you don't,
Reverend said he already got his sermon. He said he got him a sermon.
Yeah. You said
you gotta realize that.
I got
over with. Everything we moving in a new direction. What you got for him? What you got for him? So now, entertainment. We got the Reverend for the sermon.
My God.
You got you for one too. We got you one. So it's either put y'all both on the same day. You know what I mean? Now we can put some music in between or something like that.
Okay, you know? So we going for on the 4th. We going for an hour and a half. The podcast is usually an hour and a half.
We keep it an hour. It's supposed to be an hour, but you know we always be going over anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
And so me and Bobby talked about making sure that come January we will stick to that damn hour. You know what I mean? Because everybody's kind of like in the groove. Right now anyway. Mm-hmm. We can get to the points.
Yeah, we're gonna start being professional in January.
You almost got the Queen GCPT come out of me. But you know why? No, real. We talking about something serious, but you know that's true. He said we're gonna get the professional part covered. Okay.
Well, it took us so long to get you on here. You know what I mean? We had to go through a whole lot of other women trying to get
Where
you
my
on
ruler?
Here.
I'm gonna go get my yardstick somewhere.
You know what I mean? So you know, and so
Okay.
so right now you got them thirsty out there. They want to get on, but no, we ain't letting y'all on.
Got
so, you know,
to go to work.
We ain't got no time for no nonsense. We ain't trying to
That's real.
promote no nonsense.
Yeah, Bobby
You know what I
Buck
mean?
is on that. He on the defense team. Absolutely. He not playing. What is he right now? He is covert right now.
Yeah, he's doing the thing right now, but that's all right. We're gonna work on making sure that let's say both of y'all was on, Bobby.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between, let's say for about 5 minutes, ain't nothing but advertisement. You know what I mean? That's all you're gonna see. You know how to get in contact with everybody got, whatever. How we want to get this fundraiser going. We need to get that going because we're gonna need that.
Is we adopt a charity, and we tell the charity we're gonna give them a percentage. That's a good way to get fundraising going out the blue. We need to say we can order some candy to sell. And listen to me, or donut. Let's see, by doing that, that's a person to person, and that'll be a better way for us to interact with people to try to get them to join. You know, and a fundraiser at the same time. Instead of the dollar candy bars and tell them what's going on and what we're doing, try to get them to join the party like that. We can do that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
We can adopt a charitable cause, like, you know, sickle cell, since that's black folks. We adopt something like that, sickle cell and kids, give them a percentage of proceeds made.
But before we go into further, I think we need to end the show before we keep on talking.
I got it. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell you that for the last. I've been hitting you up in the little inbox and whatever that little thing is, Bobby.
Oh no.
Pastor, prayers out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Heavenly Father, we come to you on bended knees, knowing that thou art God, asking that you elevate the consciousness of our people. Give us the strength, O Lord, to face the storms that we will run into. We ask that you bless every person that is on this call. We thank you for the sister that is driving us. Go to work. We thank all of the people that are here. Everyone is valued in the eyesight of God. Everyone is unique in his glory. We say it in the precious name of Jesus Christ. All who agree say amen. And all of the say
amen.
Amen. Absolutely. Beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be calling the producer of the show. Okay.
Right now.
It's a new day, y'all.
Okay. I'm calling you next, Bobby Buck.
We got some business to take care of.
Yeah, Big Bobby.
Lots of business. But people are dying every day, shedding tears every way. Oh my God, I feel their pain. Oh my God, who's to blame? We need another day to see the light, a new way. Stop this fight. Peace in the hood is on its way. And peace in the hood is here to stay. Cause it's a new day. It's a new day. Peace in the hood is on its